Once again, God's Holy Spirit blows my mind and how much patience He has for me when I am being stubborn or just plain stupid. So a couple months ago, a new home goods store opened in our town, and my husband and I went on a little date to the store to just check things out. We're super frugal, and so we didn't buy a ton of stuff, but one thing we did come home with was this mirror. I just thought it was super cute. We didn't have a mirror in our bedroom. It was neutral. It had wooden beams. I loved that it matched everything and had a little bit of that boho aesthetic. And I hung it up over our bed and didn't think twice about it. Now, every night when I go to bed, I read my Bible, whether on my phone or using a little light. I'll actually read my Bible. We co-sleep, so I've got to keep it pretty undercover. But I also pray before I go to bed. So I close my eyes and have a prayer ritual that I pray to God until I fall asleep. But for the last few weeks, no matter what I do, I have had really bad dreams, just nightmares, demonic, dark stuff. And I've just thought it was spiritual warfare in general, and I just couldn't understand how even praying myself to sleep, I couldn't get rid of these nightmares. Now, multiple times while praying and also just waking up out of a dead sleep, I have had the thought of get that mirror out of your room. But I thought that it was just, when you're drifting off to sleep and you start to have incoherent thoughts, or you start to have those dreams that don't make any sense. I was like, why am I thinking about that mirror? That's so random. I must just be having incoherent thoughts as I get closer to sleep. There's no way that I need to get rid of that mirror. I literally just bought it and put it on our wall. It's cute. What's the issue? Last night at dinner, my husband and I are talking about getting the crib out of our room officially because our little guy's getting bigger, and we're talking about how we can shift some things around, add some decor in. He literally said, "What are you going to do with that Indian dream catcher mirror thing that you have hanging over our bed?" And it stopped me in my tracks. I was like, wait a minute. That is a mirror completely modeled after a pagan Indian dream catcher. A non-Christian, non-biblical idea that I can manipulate the spiritual world into fighting away darkness and fighting away bad dreams. Ironic that I invite that into my bedroom and start having bad dreams, and the Holy Spirit keeps waking me up out of a dead sleeper in the middle of my prayer, telling me to get it out of my bedroom. God is pretty clear about what we invite into our lives when we follow pagan traditions or pagan rituals or believe in pagan ways to manipulate the spiritual realm. So the Holy Spirit had been telling me for weeks to get it out of there, and I had been inviting in those demonic spirits. So the mirror had to go. It was out of my room last night, and for the first night in a long time, I had some really hilarious dreams, but they were all loving and kind and funny, nothing demonic. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for helping me see when I am blind and being patient with me when I don't understand.